Hello, my name is Eugene. Before the podcast starts, I want to let you know where you can find our podcast. We're on all podcast platforms, so make sure to follow and subscribe to our channels as well as give us that 5-star rating. You can also check us out on all social media platforms at Spin the Rock to get updates about episodes and previews of our show. All of the links can be found in our description. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to the Spin the Rock podcast. I'm your host, Angel, and joining me today is
In-season tournament winner, Eugene.
And not in-season tournament winner, Bond.
all right. As you can see, in-season tournament is on our minds, so we're just gonna get straight into it. It's gonna be a shorter episode because, just naturally, I don't think just talking about this is gonna fill up that much time. But I just don't want to rush this portion of the episode. We're just gonna get right into it. Lakers win the in-season tournament, first ever. LeBron, the first ever MVP as well. Let's start with the one who has a cup lift as his background. Eugene, what do you think about this?
Well, you see the jersey. That boy had himself quite a spectacular game. Overall, he actually had a really good tournament too. AD, as we said, last episode or 2 episodes ago, he's kind of inconsistent, but it seems like, when he wants to play, he shows up. So he had a career high. He had a season high in both points and rebounds during the game. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch the game because I was super busy yesterday. But I did end up watching the highlights, and we pretty much seemed like we ran them through towards the end. But overall, I enjoyed the tournament. I'm looking forward to the future years, and it for me, it's kind of weird because I feel like it felt like playoff basketball, but at the same time, it's just a regular season game, So it definitely does bring a new and exciting element to the game. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think as well.
Yeah, we'll save what we think of it overall, but let's just talk about how who was the closest in their bracket prediction? Because my bracket was ruined the first night, bro. The very first night, both the Kings and the Celtics lost. So
I said Lakers Bucks for finals.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I also sorry, I was gonna say, but I also said the Pacers were gonna lose to the Celtics, which they did not. So
yeah, my entire east side was ruined day one, but my entire west side was 100%. So 50-50 for me, I guess.
All right. Okay, so we'll make our way through. So it's going to be very open discussion. So let's hit you guys with the topic and then you can hit your answer. So we'll start off with the first round. Did the first round get you excited for the rest of it? Or what did you think of the first round?
I really enjoyed it because the Pacers killed my Celtics. I'm like, okay, this is actually a really fun team to watch, even though my team's getting killed out here. But then there's the other game where the Knicks didn't belong in this tournament whatsoever. They got completely destroyed. We're saying it was like playoff basketball everywhere except this Bucks Knicks game. It was a slaughter. But also the Lakers Suns game was also another good example of, well, this is crazy. We're getting this type of basketball in November, December, So that was exciting. And I didn't watch Kings Pelicans, so I can't really say anything about that. But everything in this first round was, for the most part, worth watching.
yeah, I didn't watch the Celtics Pacers game, but I was wrong in my prediction because I said even if Tyrese drops a triple double, they're probably still gonna lose, and he did exactly that and won. So
Yeah.
clearly, I don't know the capabilities of the Pacers, but it does go to show, like, when something is on the line, teams will care about it.
Mhm.
So I think that adds like it's like one of the elements that adds excitement for me. Um, did I watch the Pelicans game? I don't remember if I watched the Pelicans game. I watched the Laker game. That was a really good game. And what was the other one? Bucks Knicks. Yeah,
Yeah.
that game was a blowout from the start. But yeah, I was pretty excited for the first round. Just to see, how everything goes and whatnot.
Yeah, for me, the first round, I watched Celtics Pacers all the way through. That was an insane game. People were clowning the Pacers for getting that hyped, but it's like 1 second you hate that the players don't care, the next second you hate that they do care. It's like, make up your mind. It's also like, you gotta understand, for that Pacers team, $500,000 is a lot for those players. Some of them are on G League contracts. So it's like, I didn't really understand why NBA Twitter was like hating on that so much, because it was just like I want passion in sports, so like it wasn't like a Pat Bev like throwing his jersey in like the stands, like they were just celebrating. So like I didn't get that. Didn't watch Bucks Knicks, and thank God I didn't, because yeah, like Vaughn said, when I like watched the highlights, it just didn't look like it. What that was like the only game where I was like, this is not an in-season tournament game. And then I watched some of Kings Pelicans. The Sabonis threw. Sabonis was not playing good at all, bro. Like, yeah, he was getting torn apart by the Pelicans bigs. And then Lakers Suns was also like insane basketball to watch. Like Devin Booker, like full on diving at the ball. Like, it was nice to see like how hard they were trying. All right, and then second round, the semifinals. Let's start off with first. What do you think of the Vegas atmosphere and the Vegas court?
Off rip, I'm just gonna say I don't know why the Lakers had to change their uniforms.
Yeah, neither did I. I
I'm like,
was
it was red
bummed.
and blue, and I was expecting it to be like black and gray or gold or something,
Yeah,
But I don't know.
yeah, I agree with you. Also, the court was just boring. I was like, okay, I'm hyped to see. Like, I would have preferred it to be ugly. Like, like I would have liked it to be ugly instead of that. That was just like, I was like, this is the court they win with. I was just like, okay, like,
I think they were just trying to keep it like NBA themed, like with the
yeah,
logo.
yeah,
That's what I got from it, but I see what you're saying.
yeah. Would
I think seeing it in practice or in put into place, the Vegas thing, I realized I don't care. Like in the end, it didn't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The first ever neutral site, and like, it didn't seem that different. Like I thought people were. I felt like the first round games went crazier than the Vegas games, which I don't know if it's just because like it's a neutral site, so like some people just didn't care. But like it would have been cool to see if Lakers were like, hey, like we have tickets that only Lakers fans can buy. Like you have to go on our site to buy these tickets, like how soccer usually does it for neutral sites.
Like a fan section.
Yeah, so that way, like the atmosphere was still there. Like have like one side all Lakers fans, and then the next side all Pacers. But it just seemed like the atmosphere went down a level for the semifinals and the finals, which is just like I don't think is what the NBA wanted or was trying to go for at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
I mean, I like the neutral site.
Mhm.
I didn't necessarily have a problem with it, but I think nobody had a problem with it. It was
Yeah.
just kind of like okay, like we're here at Vegas kind of thing. It's just another event. So it's cool. They're probably going to stick with it up
Mhm.
until if/when there's a Vegas team started or whatever. But yeah, I it's whatever to me. It would be cool though to see like a fan section for
Yeah.
those teams in the championship to so they could actually like go and support and whatever. That would be pretty dope. And I feel like
Yeah.
it would add like a finals
Atmosphere.
feel, yeah, to it. But
Yeah, because when I hear neutral site, I think Super Bowl, and it's like Super Bowl, like it's 50-50. Like sometimes one fan base is like when the Bucks were in it the first
Mhm.
year, it was like all Bucks fans.
right.
But like I thought like it would be more 50-50, but it seemed like, yeah, like you said, it seemed like nobody was really either excited or disappointed to be there.
Mhm.
Um, do you guys have anything else to add on? Because I was gonna ask you guys if you want to keep it in Vegas, but if you want to talk about the atmosphere a little bit more.
I do think only one group of people out there would hates this Vegas thing. That's Pelicans fans. Because Zion was way too excited to be in Vegas, and when it came to game time, he did not show up.
Uh, I wanted to talk about that, but I didn't know if it was too off topic for this topic. Zion looked so healthy at the beginning of the season. And then like we're only in December and he already looks out of shape, dude. And like that press interview where like he was like, "Are you excited to go to Vegas?" And he was grinning ear to ear. That man is like get that man into rehab. He is too excited to be at Vegas.
He's a fiend, bro.
He is. Um yeah, well, before we move on to the actual games, would you like to see Vegas again, or would you like them to like move around? Like, would you like Seattle, or I don't know? Would you like to see them move around, or do you think it should stay in Vegas?
I guess the only reason they should is if they're planning on putting a team there,
Mhm,
or if they, if they're kind of like want to test out a market,
mhm.
because that's definitely what they were trying to do for this. But yeah, if they're trying to test out a market, then I feel like they should. But otherwise, it's probably gonna stay in Vegas.
Yeah,
I would pretty much agree with that. Like Vegas, until that day comes where they get their own NBA team, it's probably going to stick around there. But then afterwards, I'd like to see it a new city each year. That would be pretty
mhm.
cool.
Yeah. And so, what did you guys think of the semifinal games? Did you watch any of them, or were these ones you just couldn't like catch?
Oh, I had to watch Bucks Pacers. I had to ride with the Pacers the rest of the tournament. Uh,
Mhm.
Tyrese Halliburton is really a crazy player to be playing in these sorts of games. And through these first two games, he racked up 25 assists, 0 turnovers. So
Yeah,
he's probably the next point guard we got in the league once Chris Paul retires.
yeah.
Yeah. I watched Bucks Pacers too. Also a really good game. It's the thing with this tournament is like, yes, it's regular season, and these really only count for regular season games, even with winning the NBA Cup or whatever. But it brings to light how good some of these teams could really be.
Mhm.
Like, bro, Pacers sitting at I haven't looked at the updated standings, but last time we checked last week, they were 6th seed. You
Mhm.
know, and Bucks sitting top 3, Celtics sitting top 3, and they beat them. So it's kind of like, yo, like, are these teams valid? Are they not? And I feel like, going later in the future is going to shed the light that some of these mid air quote, teams are actually pretty good. So that's another reason why I like this tournament as well.
Yeah.
But that was kind of a little tangent or whatever. The Lakers Pelicans, I turned that on in like the fourth quarter because I was also busy during that time. When I turned it on, they were up 40. I was like, what happened?
Oh my god.
So yeah, that speaks for itself. But I think LeBron obviously led in scoring that game. But yeah.
Yeah, I skipped Lakers Pelicans. I was pissed. Pelicans ruined my bracket. So I was like, I'm not watching this. I watched Bucks Pacers, bro. If Halliburton, like, he might be like the in-season tournament GOAT if like the Pacers keep doing well, because that man was unreal the entire tournament. Like, even though LeBron won the MVP, if they gave it to, like, if they did like a soccer thing where like even a losing team can get it, Halliburton is, like, in my books, the true in-season tournament MVP.
And
Because
even if they chose to give it to him, despite the Lakers winning,
Mhm.
nobody would have had a problem with it.
No,
Maybe
bro.
except some delusional Laker fans, but
Yeah, because like he was insane. Like, he was hitting shots that, like, I'm like, oh, that's not going in. Boom, in. He was making passes. I was like, I didn't even see that guy was open. Like, I'm watching TV and I'm like, I didn't see that he was open. Like, how did he? So it's just like, I think for someone who has been on Indiana and, like, let's be honest, had been on poverty teams almost his entire career, like the Kings, poverty, the Pacers for a long time, poverty. Like, for him to be on national TV and just like show the world like who he is, he has a chance to really become a star.
if not already,
Yeah, yeah.
People are already saying like superstar, like as of now, which is crazy to say, but not too far off considering
No.
the timeline.
Like, yeah,
And he's
especially if they
our
keep this
age,
up.
bro. Like that's the craziest part
Oh,
about it too.
yeah. It is insane. Like, yeah. If the Pacers keep up this level of like momentum and Halliburton keeps up this play, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's called a superstar at the end of this year. Like, right now, I think it's a little too early because like superstar is like a term that gets thrown around so much now. So like maybe right now it's a little too early, but like if at the end of the year they like made it to the playoffs, had a solid first round, maybe even moved on, like, yeah, I think he has a chance to be a superstar for sure.
maybe
And then,
not maybe not superstar, but would you guys say right now all NBA?
oh, for sure.
Yeah, I would say
No,
so.
no doubt. I
Like
think
so long as this performance is going to continue for the rest of the season, yeah, it's a lock.
Right.
yeah, I would go as far to say first team, bro. I think right now he's one of the better point guards in the league.
You can make a case for it. That's for sure.
Especially like I don't know if they take record into account for all NBA teams. I'm not too sure. But if they took record into account, I feel like there's no better point guard with this good of a team right now.
Mhm.
Because I think Curry has a chance Curry always has a chance. But right now with the Warriors being like what 10th, maybe even
something like that.
11th, like who knows? Like, I think Halliburton has like the chance to snag up that first NBA All Team.
Mhm.
I'm putting it on the board even. Halliburton,
Hey.
NBA first All Team, first NBA All Team. And then finals, Pacers, Lakers. When Okay, let's just get this out of the way. When you saw Lakers Pacers, did you guys think it's going to be a blowout, or did you think it was going to be a solid game?
No, or no to a blowout.
Mhm.
Like literally, as soon as I saw it, I'm like in a hoop chat on Twitter or whatever.
Mhm.
I was like, it's gonna be a hard fought win, but we gonna come out with the win. And yeah, like it seemed pretty hard fought. Nobody on the Pacers wanted to lose, and honestly, although they did lose, they didn't really have anything to lose because they're just proving themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't watch the game, so if y'all want to talk about it, but
I only watched half of the game, and I think Vaughn has watched all of it. So I think I'll go next just because I only watched the second half. And during the second half, I think the Pacers were down going into it. In the third quarter, it seemed like they were gonna make a comeback. And then in the fourth quarter, I don't know what happened, but the Lakers started to pull away more and more and more. But yeah, I skipped the entire first half because I was just kind of like I was just watching the score. And it's like, okay, once the score gets interesting, I'll jump in. But then like at halftime, I was like, I'll just wait until like the third quarter. Like I'll just watch after halftime. So I only watched the second half and the trophy ceremony.
I did watch the whole game. I think their biggest issue was Anthony Davis because you got Miles Turner, good center. He's a big reason why he was holding it down in the defensive end. He's
Mm.
not strong enough to go against up a guy like Anthony Davis, and they didn't have a backup center who really could. It was Isaiah Jackson, I think, is their backup center. He was playing what he was doing what he could do, but no one on that team was strong enough to contain AD. They
Yeah.
didn't have like a Steven Adams type, so that was never going to be a solution, a problem they could solve, you know. And then of course LeBron's going to do LeBron things, and then Austin Reeves had himself a game too. I'm pretty sure like 22 or something. So they were
Yeah,
just killing it from the lens.
he had like 22 points in 12 minutes. I saw.
Yeah,
I was like, that's
Crazy.
crazy.
crazy efficiency. And then but shout out to guys like T.J. McConnell, Benedict Mathurin. They were either making tough shots or tough defensive plays. And also shout out Aaron Neesmith. That man was guarding Giannis, and it worked. And he was guarding LeBron, and like I've never seen this before. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
That fool had the hardest assignments the entire tournament, bro. I was like, who
Yeah.
is this guy?
I forgot about that. I was watching the Celtics game, and like even the announcer was like, Neesmith putting on a performance, and like even he was in shock because he was locking down Tatum at times. He was like, there was this times where he would just randomly just lock down their best scorer, and it's like, okay, like man was hooping for no reason.
Yeah, he was basically allowed to do whatever he wanted in the defensive end because if he got into foul trouble, he was a bench player. So if they lost him, they could still bring up their starter back in. So it was a good game plan up until this Lakers game.
Yeah.
Shout out those guys.
And yeah, and then at the end of it, Lakers won. LeBron, the first ever MVP. What do you guys think about? Okay, let me back up. One, what do you guys think about people saying that it's like not that big of a deal that the Lakers won? Like, do you think it's because it's the Lakers?
It's because it's the Lakers and it's
Okay.
because it's LeBron. 100%.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, do you think if the Pacers won, people would have been a lot more hyped about how the in-season tournament in general? Or do you think it's because it's the Lakers, the hype kind of died down a bit?
I think if the Pacers won, I don't think anyone necessarily would have been excited per se, but they would have given it a lot more credibility. But because like, okay, so Lakers Twitter obviously popping off or whatever. I'm seeing the good and the bad though.
Yeah.
And it's like people are saying it'll be like the Shaq and Kobe meme or whatever. And it'll be like when LeBron and AD see a Mickey Mouse ring on the line, and then it shows that. So it's like it's definitely the Laker hate plus the LeBron hate plus / kind of sort of the AD hate or whatever. But no, it's 100% the Lakers.
Yeah.
The thing I've already been seeing is the Suns game, the end of that game being like, if this never happened, the Lakers would never have been here. So that's probably going to get brought up every time this in-season tournament ring gets brought up. So that's probably the big issue.
All right. And then I have two more questions before we move on to our another topic. One, what would you grade the in-season tournament, and are you excited for next year? If you had to give the whole thing F to A, what would you give it? And then are you excited for the second year?
I would say max, like a B plus. There was nothing like visually wrong with it other than the courts. there weren't any like different rules, because it was like it's it's a regular season. They didn't try and do too much with the tournament as a whole, other than like being in Vegas or whatever. But I don't see much wrong with it. Could they add some things? Probably, but I would say about like a B plus, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'd for every reason Eugene just said, I'd say B plus. But this man right here, Adam Silver, he's Adam Gold now. This man has to be given an A plus. The ratings for like a random November game or December game must have been like spiked up. Like he must love this.
He said Adam Gold.
That's so funny. And then I would give it an A minus. Yeah, like it can definitely be improved. Nothing was wrong. I think one of the better parts is the media, like the player interviews during the knockout stages was like comedy. Like whether it was Zion being a little too excited about like going to Vegas or Giannis being like, I want that $500,000 being a multimillionaire. Like, and then LeBron once again lying for no reason, talking about how my trainer told me I've never won a Final Four, and like this is the one thing in my career I haven't done. Like, like it's just like it was a comedy. So yeah, I think A minus could definitely be improved. Definitely excited for next year. I don't think much will change though. And then lastly is, like Vaughn said, is Adam Silver the greatest commissioner of all time? Is he the GOAT?
He may look like a skeleton of a man, but like the fact that he's so willing to do these things is actually really healthy for this league.
Okay, so we've only known of two commissioners in our lifetime: David Stern, rest in peace, and Adam Silver. I personally love David Stern, even though he did some like some crazy stuff or whatever,
some wild stuff.
Right. I still love the man because he obviously basketball's been a worldwide sport, but he was the main reason why we are seeing so many foreign players come into the league, because he was trying to get out there. David Stern walked so Adam Silver could run.
Okay.
I'm going to say David Stern, but I'm 100% biased. But I'm not hating on Adam Silver. He's doing his thing too.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, I like what you said. David Stern walks up because like you got to give both of them like their ups. But come on, bro, playing the bubble in season tournament, Wemby. This looking at Vegas and Seattle expansion. This man, the player resting rule. This man is on a LeBron level run right now.
Oh no, he's locked in for sure.
He's locked in. But yeah, that's our opinions on the in-season tournament in general, and it's like what we thought about the knockout stage. Now, our next topic, you're probably wondering, like, hey, I was watching the in-season tournament to give myself like other teams to watch, but now that it's over, I don't know who I'm gonna watch or who should I look out for. We got you covered. There's still a lot of NBA basketball left, and now that the in-season tournament is done, you don't want to keep watching the teams that were doing good in the tournament. Because let's be honest, some of them were only good in the tournament, the Pelicans. So we're gonna give you one player and one team to watch. I think we'll start with the team. Who wants to kick us off with their team to watch?
Okay, I can go first. It's not exactly a surprise pick, knowing we've kind of been in their corner this whole time, but the Thunder is my serious pick. Okay, if you want to watch good basketball, go watch the Thunder. They're a good team. They've got good scores. They have good defense. They have good playmaking. But if you want to point and laugh at a team, watch the Warriors. Them and Draymond is single-handedly losing them games. Then Klay Thompson can't be relied on. The team is shattered. And a good a good representation of this is that last OKC versus Warriors game where, Warriors up 3, Draymond fouls Chet Holmgren on the 3-point line. Chet makes every free throw, goes overtime, Thunder win.
No, that's a very solid pick. Like, yeah, if you're not watching the Thunder, you should be. There's no reason why you shouldn't be watching the Thunder.
Like-
Oh, you got it.
I'll just put this out there. Like, everyone talks about Chet, Shea, Jalen Williams, but then, like, you kind of forget they still got guys like Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe. Like, any one of these guys would be playing even heavier minutes on rosters that are like sore for those needs they provide. So they're a young team, but they're like a fully complete team, which is very rare to see.
Oh yeah, I mean their bench is exciting. Like still, like the fact that like the starters come off and the bench is still just as fun to watch is like something 50% of the league doesn't have. When their starters come off their floor, you're in dread and agony. Like, whereas the Thunder, you like are probably not worried whatsoever when your bench steps on the court.
For my team, I haven't watched a single one of their games, but they're still sitting at the 2 seed. I'm gonna say the Magic. I don't know what turned around for them. Like, I have no idea. But they're getting their schedule as of late has been weaker teams, but they've gotten good wins against good teams. Celtics, Nuggets, Pacers, Bulls aren't really good anymore. I think they won against the Bucks. Yeah, they won against the Bucks one time. So, I mean, they're doing pretty good. I might have to tap into the Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony duo. But yeah, I think I would say the Magic only because they're sitting pretty right now so far still.
Yeah, no, I like that pick, especially because there's so many fans being like, "How are they second seed?" You just gotta watch them, bro. Like if you want to know why they're second seed, you gotta watch their games. Because I was watching like some of their games after last week podcast where we basically had like 10 minutes of being like complete confusion, and I like. Anthony Cole is looking like a 6th man of the year. He might not get it. Let's be honest. He probably won't, but he's playing like he wants to get it. And like, that's exciting for the Magic for sure. That like a young guy is like stepping into that role.
This is kind of a tangent, low key, but do you ever think we're going to see a Lou Will type 6-man ever again? Or even Jamal Crawford?
That's tough.
Probably like Lou Will.
Like, both of them won 3 6-man of the year awards.
Yeah.
Is there a third guy in the league who's going to win 3 of those same awards? Like, I can't picture that happening ever again.
My theory is the fact that we got Ginobili, Crawford, and Lou Will in like a span of like 10 years, like we're never gonna get a 6-man like
they
that.
made up for the next 30.
Yeah, bro. Like those 3 just took all that 6-man talent in that one little like decade, and like now we're gonna be 70 and finally see another 6-man like that, being like, oh, I remember when Jamal Crawford was like that. Like,
Yeah, like who's going to be like a flamethrower off the bench and want to stay a bench player for their career long enough to win 3 of those awards? Like, any one of those people are going to be like, put me in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Well, that perfectly lines up with Jordan Clarkson, because at first, behind Donovan Mitchell, I really thought he was going to, 6-man. Then Donovan leaves, or I think he started actually, and then Donovan left, and now it's him. But that I feel like that statement perfectly summed up like Jordan Clarkson's career.
Yeah, and also like Lou Will and Jamal Crawford, like they were bad as starters.
Low key.
so to also be like only good as a 6-man of the year, like I don't know. Lou Will and Jamal Crawford were like a whole special breed.
And it's crazy too because they would get starting minutes off the bench.
Yeah,
You know, like it's
yeah,
like don't put them in the starting five, but you can give them starting minutes.
yeah, exactly. But I also think there's also just like so much talent in the NBA right now. I feel like maybe when the expansion happens, we'll see that again. But like right now, there's so much talent.
Like it's kind of hard to over, like I don't know how to say it, but like overshine.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's hard to be like. I feel like it's hard to be like the only good like the most defined good six man.
Right.
Because right now the six man of the year award is becoming a race. Like it's becoming like a debated topic now. Whereas before, like, yeah, it like those three were really good and like should have won it. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like now it's gotten to the point where it's like you like I want this guy to win it. He's definitely better. Or like I'm so mad that this like people are getting mad now that certain players aren't winning six man. Like that's insane.
You can even say that for most improved too.
Yeah, most improved as well is becoming like these awards that used to be not as special are getting more and more credence because the talent is just getting off the charts.
Again? Oh, the Magic.
The Magic.
Yeah.
Huge tangent.
I think to bring it back to the Magic, it's not that they're shooting better or playing defense better. For some reason, they just look more competitive. They want it more as compared to last year, which is like for a young guy just to flip that switch on and just like improve the whole team through and through. What a weird thing to happen. Like look at the Detroit Pistons. They're a mess. The Wizards, garbage. But the Magic, that's where we expected them to be, and now they're a 2 seed, which is crazy. And like even look at the rookie Anthony Black. That man was shedding tears because he got benched in like a fourth quarter clutch time moment because he wanted to be there on the court. That's how much he wanted to be out there.
Yeah.
So they definitely want to keep this up. I hope they do because like they're top ranked defense for a reason. And like I haven't seen much of them, but they are an interesting team to watch for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like they're definitely like a Cinderella story. And it's insane. It's definitely so insane to see all these other young teams. Like the Thunder were already picking it up. So I don't really count them as a young team who flipped the switch. But like the Magic, like the only reason the Rockets are higher than usual is not because they're young players. It's because they picked up better veterans. So it's just like for the Magic to be one of those young teams and it is like flipped a switch like completely. It's so insane to see.
It's impressive.
Yeah. My team might also come as a shock or also might be like, I don't know about that. But I'm going to go to Kings. De'Aaron Fox, he's playing better every year. Like he's playing like an MVP caliber. He's definitely not going to win it, but he's playing as someone who's definitely should be in the talks. And with him back, I just see the Kings are going to slowly start climbing up that standings. So I think if you want, like, I think you should buy yourself a front row seat to see them climb up the Western Conference because I think it's definitely happening. And it's like Keegan Murray, sophomore season. It's like they're going to be a fun team to watch.
I've been a believer in them since last year to an extent, you know. In season play-in tournament, gone second seed, and I hold true that they'll finish second seed this year. I don't have too much to say about them, to be honest. I think I've gushed about them plenty.
Yeah, I don't really have anything much to add either. Their play speaks for itself, you know. They're not sitting too high right now, but I'm sure something will change. At least by February. We'll see though.
Yeah. And even like Herter and Monk, like I don't know. I don't know what what about the Sacramento Air made them all of a sudden reliable players? But it's also just so fun to see guys who were like looking to be out of the league just play so good in Sacramento.
Bro, don't even get me started on Malik Monk, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a fan, but we just did not use him right, bro.
Yeah, I don't think
was awful.
anyone did because the Hornets had him too, and like he was not looking like he was not looking good on the Hornets.
Hmm.
Like he was one of those players like in 2K was like you could dominate with, but like when he was on the Hornets, it was just like kind of sad to see.
Right.
But now like both of them, like even Herter on the Hawks was like, man, I want him to do good, but he's just not. And like they both get to the Kings, and all of a sudden, I don't know if it was their coach said something to them and just unlocked their inner potential. Like,
Hey,
I
Mike
don't know
Brown,
what happened.
good, bro.
No,
Mike Brown, good.
No, Mike Brown is insane. Like he's the type of coach you could tell is a psychopath during practice. Like, so like I can definitely see like why he's the coach that like got them to play good, but like it's just so funny to see those two players like who've been in the league for a while just unreliable, and then all of a sudden they're like key aspects of the Kings.
Right.
Was that our last team that we had picked out?
Yes, I think we all set a team.
Okay. Because for my player, I just kind of build off this conversation. My player you should be watching is De'Aaron Fox. All right. And just to zone in on him, he's averaging 30 points a game. All right.
Damn.
Like 6 or 7 assists. And earlier in the season, the Kings were struggling. They were like a 10th, 11th seed at one point.
Mhm.
And now they're up to 6. And that's after De'Aaron Fox came back from injury. You know, this is last year's clutch time player of the year. He's kind of doing it again. It's just like, how much can this man do?
No.
Like he's what 6'1" and he's doing this. Like, come on.
That's crazy. 30 points per game. So he has to be like not leading scorer in the NBA, but like top 5,
Close
right?
to it.
He's
Yeah.
he's number 4. He is
Yeah.
fourth in the league in scoring, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm glad you said De'Aaron Fox because I wanted to say Kings more than him. So I was like, I hope someone brings him up. Bro, he is hooping this year. It is so insane to see how he keeps getting better and better and better. Like, he's just developing more and more as a player. And it's so exciting to see, especially now we have a chance to see him in playoffs. And it's just like seeing him in the in-season tournament games, seeing him just like get wins for the Kings. Because like Vaughn said, when he was injured, they did not look great. But like they have been climbing up the standings ever since he's been back, and he's looking like he can be an MVP candidate. He probably won't be just because Jokic and Embiid are just like different breeds of players. But like he looks like he can be in that race, and like that's so exciting to see a new name in that race.
Yeah, I can't, argue that. De'Aaron Fox is good. I've always been a fan. I'm glad the Kings are actually getting good now, to say the least, at least for his sake. But yeah, he's a hooper.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing that we've seen out of this season is like all the people bringing up the fact that the Kings had both Halliburton and Fox at one point, and Heald, who all have been doing good this year.
And the craziest thing about that Halliburton trade, he was getting better, and
Yeah.
they traded him. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, how do y'all do that? It just didn't make any sense to me. For
Yeah,
Sabonis.
no. And Sabonis is a good player, don't get me wrong, but like imagine having Halliburton and Fox on your team, bro. That's like an insane guard combo.
Right.
Do you want to go for your player, Eugene, or do you want me to go?
I'll let you go. I have 2 players, so I might have an honorable mention.
Yes. Okay. So my guy was my honorable mention, but I felt like my first pick is a little too late because he is slowing down. So I'm just gonna say my honorable mention now is LaMelo Ball. He is now my honorable mention. Hornets still garbage, but he is healthy this year and he's playing out of his mind. He looks like his rookie of the year self, and like last year he was in and out and just couldn't find his momentum. This year he had like a span of like almost like above like 25 points, like he was like 26, 27, like a span of like 5 games in a row all above 25 points on like efficient shooting. So shout out LaMelo Ball. My player to watch though, and this might come as a shock, but Jaime Jaquez Jr. for the Heat is my player to watch.
I like that.
He was my backup pick.
He is one of the rookies who, like, I'm pretty sure all of us were high on him, but like everyone else just didn't even know who he was. Like all three of us probably brought him up. I know for sure Eugene did, and I know me and Vaughn like talked about him. But like he's doing better than like even what I thought he was gonna do. Like I thought he was just gonna fit in and be a good good player to just like have on the Heat. He is looking like a reliable defensive player, bro. Some of his defensive plays are like, is this guy a rookie? Like it's insane the defensive plays he's doing. And I think he's like 6'6" and he's a guard.
Mhm.
Like he gets up, dude. Like the lobs that he catches, like he's only averaging like 12 points a game, but like that's like a reliable 12 points per game, bro. Like he is a rookie and he's doing so well. Like he's definitely not gonna win it. But like he is an exciting rookie to watch and one of the more underrated and I feel like not talked enough about rookies.
It's crazy that you mentioned that too, because like when I used to watch some of his games at UCLA, like defense wasn't his main priority, obviously, because they had other taller guys that could help or whatnot. But yeah, because like his main priority is just to shoot the ball, put the ball in the basket. So it's kind of cool that you mentioned his defense. I wonder if that's that Heat culture getting to him.
That Heat culture.
But yeah, I like that pick. I definitely have to watch more of their games too. For my pick, I gotta go with the defending champs, Austin Reeves. He another pretty reliable bench player. Sometimes starts, sometimes doesn't. Darvin be mixing up the lineups and whatever. But yeah, I mean he's averaging 14, 4 and 4, so he can distribute the ball. He can put the ball in the basket when he needs to. Watch him, don't watch him, but he gonna be there, bro. He is him. I honestly really thought though Mac McClung was gonna be Austin Reeves. I really thought that was gonna be the case, but we got Austin, and we sticking with Austin.
Well, Mac McClung is getting done dirty, bro. He's getting all these contracts just to be put right back down to G League.
Literally.
Like some of these teams aren't even giving him a chance. I might say something crazy. Lakers fans might come at me for this, but I feel like I like him this year more than I liked him last year. Because
Austin Reeves?
Yeah. Because last year, I just felt like Lakers fans put too much on him, and like his role was like even like the coach was like putting his role a lot bigger than it should be. Like he was getting relied on a little too much for like who he was. Like I think it was like a Jeremy Lin moment, but except for the fact that like
it wasn't working.
It wasn't. Yeah, exactly. It was like, yeah, he was having insane games and plays, but then like instead of like Jeremy Lin still not being believed in, it was like, okay, cool, now like keep doing it. Like we're giving you the like green light now. And so I like that they pulled it back and like he's thriving again, which is like amazing.
Yeah, I think Darvin was just confused about like, or maybe Austin himself, was just confused about like what role he could play because obviously he deserves to be on the team,
Mm,
but they just didn't know how to use him and probably like his skill set. They probably weren't, too familiar with it or whatever.
mm.
But it seems like now this season, they've learned a lot more about him and know how to use him. So that's why he probably comes off the bench more than not. That's what I would assume, but I don't know.
Might be some bias because Cam Reddish is the one who took the spot. Might be might be some bias on that end.
Also well deserved though.
Yeah, no facts.
I do like Austin Reeves as that glue guy for that team. Like the last time the Lakers had a glue guy was Alex Caruso. Like he played really high effort defense. He made the passes he need to. But even Austin Reeves is a little bit better on offense. Like he can shoot, he passes even better. Like when he sees LeBron tired, AD's not in a groove, he says, "Let me take over for a few runs." So that's probably the thing that Laker fans get hooked on is that takeover part of him. But like I thought it was crazy, like kind of expecting him to turn into an all-star, which you don't need him to be an all-star. You just need him to like fill in the gaps of
Literally.
that team.
Yeah.
Like not to the same level, but he's kind of like Chris Bosh on the Heat team. Like he's doing whatever he needs to win games, So Austin Reeves will do whatever he needs to.
Yeah, the Lakers are fun this year. I mean, I was excited for them going into the season, and then they kind of killed my excitement at the beginning, but they're picking back up, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm glad that my excitement is getting like proved right. Like I'm glad that they're showing me that I should be excited for them this year. All right. Any honorable mentions on teams, players?
I was gonna say Asar Thompson because like he's averaging 8 rebounds as a guard. Like he's fighting out there like Rodman style, and who does that?
Yeah.
As a guard, especially. But also he's on the Pistons, and I'd never curse someone to watch a Pistons game this year.
No, facts. I mean,
watch the highlights.
I think they're on track to be the worst NBA team of all time.
I saw that stat too. Yeah.
Like that's wild. Meanwhile, the Spurs are doing just as bad, but like not bad enough to where like the Pistons are like able to take that crown is insane.
Shout out Monty Williams.
Uh,
High speed coach.
oh man.
Nah, I kind of like that though, because he's just a scrappy player though. Like even in college, like he was just like grabbing boards like crazy. Mine, I feel like we have to say Anthony Edwards. They're still sitting atop the Western Conference. He's going off for 24, 5 and 4 on almost 50% shooting. So, he's pretty much carrying the team on his back right now.
I don't know what the difference is that he's either taking smarter shots or he's making the tougher shots at even a higher percentage than last year. Because like any shot from his is like a dangerous shot, at least from what I've seen this year. So, good pick.
Yeah, for sure. And that's just like the complete opposite of the Pistons. Because if you're watching Anthony Edwards, you're watching the Wolves, who are first seed in the West, and the best team in the league right now. And it's like, what is going on? Rudy Gobert is looking like his former self. Meanwhile, my Nuggets is on a 3-game losing streak. The Rockets keep kicking our ass for some reason. The Raptors are 9 and 13. Like
Jokic has been choking, bruh. I've been seeing.
Jokic is weird because he's still getting triple doubles and like efficient ones, but it's resulting in losses. And like Jamal Murray is not playing worse than usual. He's playing like he usually does. So I don't know if it's just like we lost too many players. Like I don't know what's happening, or if we just can't like find our groove. Maybe it's the fact that Jamal Murray was like so fresh last year that just really helped us secure that first seed.
Mm.
And now that he's like in normal regular season form, it's not helping us as much. But like it's because DeAndre Jordan's our backup, bro. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, Jokic is probably gonna play every minute you can put him in there for, but like eventually he won't be able to. And so when you he's not gonna get 20 points every game this year, bro. That was like seeing a solar eclipse, like once in a lifetime of opportunity. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, that was the in-season tournament review and just us talking about how we felt about it as a whole. That was a player and a team to watch. Thank you for listening. If you are listening to the audio version, we're on all podcast platforms at Spin the Rock. So make sure you give us that good old 5 stars. Leave a review. Let us know. Did you hate the in-season tournament? Did you love it? Is Adam Silver the GOAT? Let us know. We're on YouTube for that video format, so make sure you like and subscribe there. We're on all social media platforms at Spin the Rock. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Let's go, Lakers.